This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
To see how your tires are wearing, they must have a lot of confidence in that 19 truck and its setup.
Jones on the outside of Crafton. Here comes Blaney with him in the blue and trouble. Gallagher, hang on.
What a save by Spencer Gallagher.
Brings out the yellow.
That was such a great save. NASCAR thought he had wrecked already. that tells you what shape he had that truck in.
That's two great saves we've seen in it.
And the great moves he's made. Look at that.
He's 45 degrees sideways here and saves it.
He needs to save that one for Eldora because that's the way he's going to drive through 3 and 4 in a couple of weeks.
That's a highlight reel right there.
Another driver who come up through the dirt ranks feels quite comfortable with the rear end of his vehicle sliding around as we see it. Caution is out.
Brendan Brown, the 86 truck, is around. Brendan had such a good run at Dover his last time out, had a top 15 finish. Got a little bit of sponsorship from Coastal Carolina where he goes to school.
Make sure all your tires are up before you take off and you don't rip off a quarter panel or something.
He was running 22nd.
Bottom of the racetrack, and is Crafton going to be able to take advantage? Wow. Jones cut him off.
I think he realized that Matt Crafton had a little bit of momentum on the inside. Why not take away his line?
And I think that's a result of what we were talking about earlier. Crafton's better right now. Jones knows he's got to defend. He's got to hold his turf if he's going to win this race. Because if Crafton gets by, he could be long gone.
Crafton can be a little bit patient. He's got 25 laps to work with. He knows he's got a better racetrack. He's a two-time champion. And he's got the points lead.
And Eric Jones is going to have to be probably pretty close to perfect to hold him off.
I was going to say exactly perfect. You're right, Phil. But every lap that goes by that Crafton doesn't get,
tough. Caleb Holman, that 75 truck, he was in position with the Food Country truck to get the free pass. He was in line there.
Caleb was running in 17th. And you can see what happens when you don't save it and it gets away from you. That truck tore up pretty bad.
Yeah, a lot of damage to it. Daniel Hemrick might have been involved with that as well.
Well, we'll see. Will anybody pick take two? We'll find out when we come back.
Right there, you see the two trucks. They were actually racing for the free pass. Caleb Holman, the 75, was in position. Daniel Hemrick, the 14, was going to try to get by him to get in position for that free pass. They made contact, and that's the resulting damage to the 75 Food Country truck of Caleb Holman.
Heavy contact to the outside wall. Holman's done. Hemrick's not having a very good evening. He's still in the top 20, though, and will continue to race.
Ben Kennedy penalized for this. It started off as an ugly morning weather-wise. Has turned into a beautiful sunset here this evening at Kentucky Speedway. And Ryan Blaney is hoping it turns into a victorious night.
Would have a fighting chance, is all. So, felt like we had to do it. I didn't think we could win the race if we pitted. Come on, buddy. Just make it work for us. You've done a hell of a job keeping up with it. Just make it work right here. Give it all you got. We'll be good.
Well, I've talked about what a talent I think this young man is. That's a great decision.
Yeah, that was
nice.
his call. Honestly, his call.
He was nice. There's no way he's winning. Now, with his teammate on the inside, he gets a good start, gets out in that clean air. Maybe that truck's a little bit different in the front, and he can hold him off.
Yeah, crew chief Chad Kendrick was on board with it. Said, you did a great job. Let's just make it work for us here.
We've seen he can drive the wheels off this truck. All you got to do is give an opportunity. And that opportunity is about to come with this green flag here in Kentucky. Could be the final one of the night.
Wow, he held him.
About to push from Eric Jones. Eric's going to make it 3 wide at the bottom.
Jones creeps up on the inside in the 4. He takes the lead at the middle of turns 1 and 2.
That might have been a race-winning move right there. Look at him separate himself from Crafton.
Here comes Blaney to the bottom.
Crafton drops to the bottom in the yellow 88. He's in 4th. Hunt for 3rd, and there goes Bell into the wall. Christopher Bell in his second start. And the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series has seen that truck get sideways more than once tonight. Had done a tremendous job.
Don't speed. Hit road speed now.
He was trying to use those 2 tires. He knew he had to go. So many positions are gained right after restarts. He was trying to get some there. Looked like he maybe overdid it into turn 3.
And watch, he gets loose on the bottom and tries to chase it up the hill, and then it finally just comes all the way around. He was inside the top 10, Phil, and like you said, he was thinking, I'm going to give me some positions. I've had this thing out of control. I can hang on to it. But these things are just so hard once you get them sideways. If you save them once, it's quite an intense. Look,
he's sideways before he ever got to the corner.
Yeah.
And then never really caught up to it. Just about got it there, but then ran out of racetrack. If we would have had another lane or so of where rubber had been put down, he probably would have saved that truck. But unfortunately for him, didn't have it.
You make one swipe at it and save it, maybe 2, but then that third one seems to really whip you around, and that's what happened there.
Well, oh, hang on, John. John Hunter, right up to the wall. I don't think he touched it, though.
He got into the back of John West Townley that got him out of shape.
He fought that thing, though, didn't he, and held on to it. If he did touch it, Ralph, it was gently. He didn't do any damage to it. He can go up there and battle some more.
These guys know that time is running out. We're approaching 10 laps to go. Look right side of your screen. Look how sideways John Hunter was, right up against the wall.
Oh, and there's the caution. Gallagher pounds the wall this time with the 23. He was running 13th at the time.
Man, these trucks are running upwards of 185 miles an hour when they enter the corner, Ralph, and that's exactly where Gallagher hit.
Well, we said it might not be the last restart of the night.
Yeah, hated to see that happen to that Allegiant Chevrolet for Spencer Gallagher, coming off a pair of top 10s.
8 to go, and look, it's a 3-wide battle. Gallagher gets into John West Townley and turns himself sideways. There had to be contact from where he was spinning, and watch this thing turn left, and right, excuse me.
And I'm sure to Spencer it felt like it picked up speed as it got to the outside wall there.
By the way, if you're looking for that CONCACAF soccer match, you can find it right now on Fox Sports 2. And we'll switch it over to Fox Sports 1 as soon as the checkers fly here.
Watch this. He just tried to take the bottom and go 3 wide, but he had a bad angle to the corner and ran into John West.
I think once he got to John West, then he might have just grabbed the steering wheel, tried to turn left to stay off of John West. When it did, it turned him sideways, and hard contact with the outside safer barrier.
Has the edge by half a truck length. And here comes Crafton.
Look at that push from Blaney. Now Blaney's going to jump to the inside.
That's what it's all about, getting drafting help on the start, a push, and that's what Crafton got.
Who's going to have it off at 2? Crafton leads him down the back straightaway. Blaney to the bottom, and Jones pushing the 88.
You know, Ralph, we talked about the fact Crafton couldn't do anything because Eric Jones was in control. He laid back. He actually got in the throttle a little bit before Eric Jones did, I think.
And Suarez runs in fourth. Could he have anything to say? 5 to go. Problems. Huge hit for Kennedy. The 11 up on the safer barrier. Down off the wall it comes to a grinding halt in the middle of the racetrack.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
That's great news. That's the voice of Ben Kennedy.
Right there.
You heard him say it was a hard hit, and yes, it was. Wow, what an impact. He was running in 7th. We had talked about how he'd been outside of the top 10.
He's racing on the inside of David Gillen. They make a little bit of contact. You see John West Townley was on the outside. He's going to run right into the side of him. Kind of lift that truck up a little bit. Got into the catch fence. For the 2nd week in a row, we've had a vehicle in the catch fence. But again, the catch fence did its job. It kept that truck down on the racetrack, and you see it riding along the top of the safer barrier.
When they got to turn 1, Phil, I think they were 3 wide, and Ben probably thought that's a difficult angle for the spotters to see as well, and I think that Ben probably thought, wow, look how close that truck goes comes to going over. Probably thought they were just too wide, and he had room to move up a little bit for the corner.
That's what it looked like.
That was incredible how that truck just grinding along that safer barrier.
That's a battery sliding up in the top lane of the racetrack. Let's take a look at it again.
You can see that it was Gilliland,
John West Townley in the yellow
West,
truck.
and I think John Gilliland was just below John West, and maybe Ben Kennedy felt like they were just too wide and had room to angle himself for the corner, battling for a spot well inside of the top 10.
Man, look at that shot.
Right past one of our camera positions.
Look at all that debris.
But as you pointed out, Phil, that catch
Hit by another truck when he was sideways. See right there, I think Gillen was down lower than Ben thought he'd be. Right when he hit the wall, Townley hits him. It just sends the truck into the air.
just incredible video on a wild ride for Ben Kennedy.
We talked about the speed here at Kentucky, and that part of the track, the fastest area in this racetrack. And when there's contact, it goes bad in a hurry.
And that was a hard call for the spotter to say you're 3 wide, because just at the last instant, John West had a little bit of momentum and pulled to the outside of Gilliland.
And Gilliland turned down to
give him some more room.
That, I think the last 2 wrecks, how do you blame them on a driver? It's just racing. They're racing hard near the end of the race, and they're trying to get all they can get, and they're making split-second decisions at 180 miles an hour. You miss it by an inch, and it causes a big crash, and that was just the imperfect storm for our number 11 truck of Ben Kennedy.
Here it is at speed. You could hear every other truck on the racetrack collectively get out of the throttle.
Yeah, and everybody collectively breathe a sigh of relief when Ben gets out and walks away from that truck.
Something to think about here, too. Not only do they have to repair this fence for tonight, but we got the Xfinity Series tomorrow and Cup cars to run here as well. There's still a lot of racing to do here this weekend. And as we were talking about that, word has just come from NASCAR. Due to the length of time it would take to repair that fence properly to put these vehicles back at full speed race conditions, NASCAR has decided to call this race here. Ben Kennedy has been released from the care center, and Matt Crafton has been declared the winner here tonight.
4th win on mile and a half for Matt Crafton this year, and it all happened on the restart, guys.
That's exactly right. And also, it was a dominant truck. The fastest truck won this race. It went to checkered early, but the fastest truck won it.
9th career win for Matt Crafton. We'll be back to hear from him after this.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, continuing the tradition of excellence.